Hey everybody, in this video you can probably guess that we're going to be going over Wednesday's column. And on Wednesday column for week 3, that is solving two-step inequalities. So on Monday's column we did solving inequalities in addition or subtraction. Tuesday's column we use a multiplication or division, and we also learned that it is really important to flip the sign or reverse the sign whenever we're dividing or multiplying by a negative number. And now for Wednesday column, you're just going to put everything you've learned so far together. So instead of being one step, we're over here on, for example, Mondays, we just added 5 to both sides, which was that one step that would give me the answer. Or on Tuesday's column, we just either multiplied or divided by a certain number. In this case, we multiplied by 5 on both sides, and that would give us our answer. For Wednesday's column, we are going to be first adding or subtracting, and then multiplying or dividing. So we're going to have 2 steps instead of 1. So it's going to be basically Monday and Tuesdays put together. And so just something really important here is that this is basically a reverse PEMDAS when solving inequalities. So reverse PEMDAS, and the reason I say that is because we are going to be doing addition and subtraction before multiplication and division, which is a backwards way of doing PEMDAS. So if you're stuck on what do I do first, do I do something to this 5 or do I do something to this 4, just remember reverse PEMDAS, you're solving for x, so you're kind of working backwards to solve for x, and working backwards, you're going to be doing the reverse PEMDAS. So let's begin then by doing our addition or subtraction. So that means that I need to get rid of this minus 4 here. And in order to get rid of that minus 4, that means that I'm going to move this over to the side. If I'm getting rid of this minus 4, that means I'm going to be adding 4 to both sides. And we know that on this left side, 5x minus 4 plus 4, that minus 4 and plus 4 are going to cancel each other out and leave you with just 5x on the left side. In the addition or subtraction properties of inequalities, the symbol does not change as long as you're adding the same number. And then 11 plus 4 gives me 15. So step 1 is done. So this was step 1, which is everything like we've done on Monday. Step 2, now you can see that the x is still not by itself. Now we have 5 times x. So we're going to want to do the opposite, or the inverse operation of multiplication, which is division. We're going to divide both sides by 5. So this is step 2. And dividing both sides by 5 on the left side leaves me with just x. Because I divided by a positive number, I'm not going to change the symbol, the comparison symbol. It's still a greater than. And then 15 divided by 5 is 3. And so that leaves me with my final answer after those 2 steps. This is why we call it two-step inequality, that x is all values greater than 3. Okay, so that does it for number 1. I want to do one with a negative sign. On this one, just as a reminder, you're just going to do distributive property first. But I want to do one with a negative sign, and it looks like we actually don't have one with a negative sign, so you guys got lucky on this. So you're going to be doing, again, 2 steps for all of them. You're going to be doing reverse PEMDAS, so that means you're going to be doing addition or subtraction first before you do your multiplication division. So I'm going to do that in a different color. So before you do your multiplication or division. And since we don't have any negative ones, I'll go ahead and do this distributive property one for you, just because it's been a little bit since we've worked with the distributive property. So this is number 3, and like I said earlier, we're going to be doing the distributive property first. And just a reminder, the distributive property is when you take a number outside of the parentheses, like this 2, and you distribute it or you share it to the numbers inside of the parentheses. So if I distribute that 2 to the k and to the 5 inside of the parentheses, that's going to leave me now with 2k, 2 times k is 2k, minus 2 times 5 is 10, is less than 6. So we didn't do anything to the other side. As you can see here, we only just simplified the left side. And then now what I'll do next is actually take the 2 steps to solve the inequality, addition and subtraction first. So if this is minus 10, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to add 10 to both sides, which is going to cancel out the minus 10 and the plus 10 and leave me with 2k is less than 16. And then now I still don't have the k by itself, but I do want to get it by itself, so I'm going to divide both sides by 2 in this case. You can see how I have one number on top of the other every time I do multiplication or division. And so that 2 over 2, 2k divided by 2, is going to cancel out to leave me with just k. Remember, there's technically a 1 here. And then on the left side, and then this is going to stay as a less than symbol because we didn't use a negative number, which means that the symbol stays the same. And then finally, 16 over 2, or 16 divided by 2, leaves me with 8. And so k is all values that are less than 8. So again, you're just going to be using that same technique for the remaining 3 problems. You're going to be adding or subtracting a number first, and that never changes the sign. But then you're going to be multiplying or dividing by another number, whatever is attached to the x, or to the variable here. And then if it's negative, it's going to change the symbol. Remember, it's going to reverse it. But if it's the same, if it's a positive number, it stays the same.